Good morning, good morning, good morning. And it is a glorious, shiny green day on the markets. Don't you just love it, eh? Oh, look at all this green. Bitcoin, it's shot past 30k. We're sitting neat on 30,000. Oh, it's still going up in 72. That's 6.22% up on the week. Not bad at all. Look at that beautiful climb over here, eh? I love it. Ethereum sat on 1916. That's up 2.6 on the week, so not too bad. 3% up on the day. Hey, hey. BYBIT is also doing well despite the FUD. Everything's had a nice little jump today. It's always a pleasure to see, isn't it? It's a pleasure to see. So, welcome. Yeah, this is a Crypto Duck Life. Show's brought to you as always by BPO app, Diamond Hands Network, BYBIT Exchange, and all those links are in the description. I also want to point out that there is an Ethermail link in the description. You can grab yourself some ETB tokens for free if you use it to sign up. It's basically a Web3 email address, completely anonymous, completely encrypted and secure. So yeah, do it, man. Do it. It's free, for crying out loud. What's wrong with you? Yeah. To be honest, I think Ethermail's going to be quite big in the future. It's a very interesting project. You could already tie up your unstoppable domain with it to make your new email address a little bit easier to handle. It's yeah, it's interesting. Definitely worth a look at. Where do we expect to go? Well, I'm really hoping that this is that breakout that we've been waiting for. I'm looking for Bitcoin to hit 34. Looking onwards long term to 38. Ethereum, we're looking for 2k. And yeah, that's where we're going. That's where I hope we're going anyway. It's got to be good. Ethereum is too cheap up against Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dominance has just gone crazy. And that means that it should be altcoin season soon. That dominance should be reduced as the altcoins all push upwards and close that gap. On top of all that, institutional demand for the United States dollar is falling. You've got China making deals left, right and centre to turn their yen into the sort of worldwide currency. And it's working. China is now the biggest trader with the majority of the world. Certainly bigger than the United States is currently. So anyway, the point here is that if demand is falling for the United States dollars, then the price is going to fall. Throw that on top of the fact that they're fucking printing billions of new dollars, and that price should fall even further. So yes, it is cooking up to be like that perfect storm to push crypto prices forward, don't you think? I fucking hope so. News-wise, well, SHIB is saying that its metaverse will be partially open by the end of the year. They're not saying what the metaverse is. No one knows. That's just the way it is. The European crypto rules are coming into power. That's finally been pushed in. Now this goes all the way back from fear of Facebook's failed Libra project. I don't know if you remember that, but they were going to make a token, but so much legislation was put in its way that it wasn't possible, so they abandoned the project. This is just because no government wants a non-government currency basically, making its headway into any state. It's just not going to be allowed. So anyway, that was the birth of these rules, but the rules are now coming into place. There's a lot of regulations and rules regarding crypto asset service providers. So that's anybody that provides any kind of crypto service that they have to follow. There are strict rules now on white papers. What has to be in them, how they have to be worded, what it has to cover, as well as details of the people putting the white paper out. So there should be no more anonymous ones, etc., etc. There are also severe stablecoin rules. Not necessarily a bad thing on stable coins. I think talking about necessary reserves in place, large stable coins have got even stricter rules. What they deem as a large stable coin or a regular stable coin, I'm not too familiar with. I haven't read the entire document. But yes, that's coming into place. And of course, the CBDCs are all exempt from any of the rules. So yes, they're making it very neat for themselves, aren't they? Oh dear. This comes a day after France has made it illegal to spend over 1,000 in cash. Now, on one hand, you know, that's completely shocking. On the other hand, I think, you know, a lot of people are going to argue, well, why would you need to spend over 1,000 in cash? There's not that many single purchases that are over 1,000. But it's very telling that they're literally making it illegal to do so. And they've chosen 1K in cash because it's a nice, easy target that they can get the laws in with. You know, there's not going to be a major uproar over that simply because people are going to go, oh, well, it doesn't really affect me. I never spend that much anyway. But once that law's in, well, then they can tighten it up, can't they? And it will be reduced and reduced and reduced over time. What governments are aiming for is, of course, a cashless society. Because in a cashless society, nobody can come and fix your, leaky pipe for cash at a cheaper price. There's always tax to pay. And, there's a lot of people that will argue that's a good thing. For a lot of people, it is going to be very scary because, you know, they survive on this type of stuff. I mean, I think a cashless society is a lot closer than what a lot of people realise. And I think governments are going to be very up for it. And I do think that CBDCs, when they are rolled out, are going to be a very major part of that. It is what it is. There's so much hype as well coming over ZK Sync. I'm sure everybody knows, but ZK Sync itself is an Ether Layer 2. It's a different option over the optimistic roll-ups that Base are going to be using. You could argue that it's better. There are arguments for that as far as security and stuff is concerned. But ZK Sync's already raised 458 million from various VCs. Their community is already 500,000 strong. That's going across Discord and Telegram and other groups. They don't have any plans for a native token yet. So anybody hoping to jump on the bandwagon is, it's not there yet. However, there is a lot of stuff moving onto the ZK Sync blockchain. Their layer 1 blockchain, it is up and running. And why people are moving over, partly is because of its feature set, but I'm sure a lot of it is because they're hunting for the airdrop. They know that if they utilise the blockchain, that they have a very, very good chance of getting that airdrop when the native token is inevitably announced. And it will be inevitably announced because everybody wants to make more money. It's just the way that it is. I'm all for anything that makes it easier and better to use Ethereum, and I'm expecting Ethereum to become a bit more like Bitcoin. Ethereum itself will become a massive store of value, but it's going to become so expensive that very few people will ever own a full entire Ethereum, and it's going to be at the right at the top, almost like gold. And it's going to be their layer 2s like Polygon, like ZK Sync, Arbitrum, etc., that pull the weight of being more of the currency class, I guess, being utilised by new projects, etc. New things coming out. Bear in mind that these are coming off of paid for press releases. All new projects do it, but just ones that caught my eye. Orbian Protocol. Basically, it's a DeFi system, and they're going to be looking at basically providing new startups with funding. And the idea is that they can create a fund for that startup and approach different people. It also lets smaller people become like a little VC, so that you can put little bits of money into different startups and see how they do. A slightly better project, in my opinion, but a similar line of sort of focus is Locust.finance. They are creating NFT vaults, all kept on chain, which they're basically going to cherry pick DeFi protocols, then turn that cherry pick DeFi protocol into an NFT, which you can then buy into, and you'll be able to earn profit from that range of protocols, all done on chain. Very, very exciting, interesting stuff, and well worth looking into. One that I've seen advertised and pushed and pushed and pushed, but never really done anything, is Pulse Zen. I don't know if you've come across this one. I don't even know if it's on this. No. No. Still, it's available on one of the... Just Google it. It's available on one of the swaps. Basically, it's a system where 2% of every single transaction gets split between every holder. So everybody makes that little bit of money out of every single transaction. They also have charity wallets that receive a small amount of funding. And they have a burn amount as well. So a certain amount of Zen gets burnt with every transaction. Now, it's all well and good, but I can't find a reason for anybody to use it. There's nothing mentioned at all on the website about why people would be buying and using it other than to get this 2%. It needs to work on its use case. I mean, the tokenomic side of it, I can totally get behind and think, yeah, you know, that's fine, that works great. But they need to come up with a reason for people to use it in the first place. You know, you take a DeFi protocol and it has a purpose and a use, so it's got that income coming, whereas Pulse Zen seems to just be a token left on its own. Is that a bad thing? Well, yeah, I wouldn't be investing in it, I'm afraid. That's just my opinion. Look, we've gone over the 10 minutes mark, so I think that's good enough for you all now, really. So yeah, you know, thanks for joining me. Yeah, slap me up on the socials, hit subscribe, all those good things.